Hello everyone and welcome to Warhammer Online Return of Reckoning, the private server. Today we're going to be looking at game options. I know it may not sound very important to some, but we're going to go through it anyways, because I think you will find some of the things we will cover useful into your gameplay. So pressing escape will bring up the main menu. Logout, exit game, of course you know what to do. User settings, we'll start with the general ones. So the general settings tab is divided to different categories. The first one is gameplay. Here you can have to click some of the options such as always auto loot or click through yourself. Don't fade your bar, allow auto queuing for scenarios. There's a lot of options. This tab does not affect your gameplay too much, but things and information we want, you can click them on and off at any time. The second section is about tutorial and help tips. I personally deactivate all of them. But if you want some help through the game, you can click whatever you feel is necessary for your own gameplay. Third part of this tab is dialog warnings. So this is where you can set up warnings if you're trying to sell or buy or repair items to make sure that you don't accidentally sell something you don't want. However, keep in mind if you do sell something, you can always go to the vendor you sold it to, go to the buyback tab and take it back with your money as well. And final part of this general option tabs is camera. I personally use Smart Follow, but you can make it any way you feel it will be better for your own gameplay. Now the video tab, you have also a lot of options, and this is one of the most important tabs for the game. Not only because from here you will make the game look the way you want it, but also because from these options you can minimize your lag, your frame drop in the game when you get to massive fights and other options. So display, whatever it's convenient for you, for your system. Global UI, it will make the squares down here bigger, smaller. I can give you an example. You can make it a little bit bigger preview. So you can make it as big as you want. You see? I'm going to cancel that because I don't like it. That was a little bit too big, or smaller for that matter. We'll have a look on the smaller version as well. Whatever you feel is more convenient for your own game style. Now, image calibration, you can play with this, but in order for this to be active, you need to be at full screen. I'm using window mode, full screen, but windowed, so this is not activated. So if you use full screen, this you can play and fix the gamma of your game display. Now, performance. This is, for me, the most important of all. So you can click Shade Performance Optimization if you like, but it does say that if you experience graphical anomalies with the game, uncheck this box. I have it unchecked just in case. Haven't seen any difference, to be honest. So when you click Customize, you have 4 presets. Ooh, shiny, balanced, high quality, and fastest frame rate. So you can click this, it will change the options underneath. Personally, I play balanced, but with my own little changes, so it's pretty much custom. Why do we do this? You may have a very good computer, you may not have a very good computer. If you don't, you might want to keep this a little bit down. For my system, I found that the best one is to keep everything at balanced. Draw distance far, GPU at the largest, and this works for me. Now, one of the most important in here is play ability effects on. You have a lot of options: none, self, party, warband, and all. For me, it's convenient to have all, but if you get to a big fight, that means from 150 people plus, watching all the damage and all the effects from 200, 300, 400 people, it can really, really drop your frame rate. So you might want to get that to self or none, depending on the situation, how many people you have. For most fights I came across, these settings really work. But you have to check on your own system and keep in mind if you get big frame drops when you're fighting a lot of people, this is where you need to come and start removing things. So I'm going to keep it like that. And then we have the sound tab. Usual, master volume, effects volume, music, if you like music into your game. Chat. Here you can also find some useful things. On the chat tab, I usually keep it at 8,000 lines. So because whether you're in combat or not, if someone is fighting next to you or chatting, your chat will keep scrolling. So the more lines it saves, the easier it is for you to scroll back up so it doesn't disappear, and you can check whatever you want. I definitely would recommend show NPC chat bubbles off. There's a lot of NPCs in the cities or in the war camps that they spam the little storyline, you know, fight for this, win for this, and they're really spammed. So if you don't want to have a lot of bubbles in a busy NPC area, definitely keep this one off. Targeting. This is another tab that you will find a lot of information to put into the display of your game. See your own health bar, your group members' health bars, enemy, monsters, names of the guilds, everything you want to put on top of a character or an NPC, it's here. The more you add, the more lag you're going to have in busy areas. I mean, if you're going to go to fight with 400 people, you're asking the game to load enemy names, pet names, enemy mob names, because there are always NPCs somewhere. The titles, the guild names, and all that. It will really have to load a lot of information. So have a look and try and find the one that goes well with your system. And also, if you put quite a few, you can click simple. Simple font, it seems to be working a little bit better regarding frame rate than the stylish one. So you can do that. And this last tab here, it's something I personally don't use. Basically puts arrows underneath your feet, showing you the direction of the enemy, things like that. But later on with the add-ons, I don't think you really need that. Add-ons will cover in a different tutorial. And these are the main options you can play with. And like I said, the video one and the targeting one are the most important because you can control your frame rate there, depending how much information you put. This game is really CPU intensive, not so much GPU intensive. So keep that in mind when you looking into this game. And final tab is interface. This tab has 3 more tabs up here, which is an entire new tutorial just with 3 tabs there, and we will do that at some other point. This is where you can choose how many bars you want down here at the bottom, and what type of messages and how long they will be displayed on your screen. Not on your chat, but in your screen. But like I said, this one is a tutorial on its own. We will cover this later on. So that's all the options that we have available in this game. I hope you found this useful, and hopefully it will improve your frame rate and therefore your gameplay. Thank you very much for watching.